Hello.
I'm sure you're all familiar with the story of Flat Stanley, which is the little boy who was squished by a bulletin board. And I'm here to introduce to you my Flat Stanley. And the Flat Stanley project was created in 1995 by Dale Hubert. And according to Dale Hubert, one of the reasons the Flat Stanley project has become the longest lasting literacy project on the web is due to the simplicity of the concept. And on flatstanleyproject.com, the guidelines are listed, which is to send it to a family member, celebrity, or a politician, and they will send it back with a journal and pictures of Flat Stanley's adventures. So in 3rd grade, I created my Flat Stanley, and I remember sitting at my desk and coloring the Flat Stanley, and I was with my friend Ariel, and we were talking about who we were going to send it to, and we both decided on our grandparents. And I didn't really take into consideration that my grandparents lived in Frostproof, Florida, which is the middle of nowhere, so I didn't really think about how they would have to go out of their way to do this, but I sent it to them, and I have the letter that I wrote to them. I said, "Dear Grandma and Grandpa, I'm sending you a Flat Stanley that I made in class. Stanley likes to go places. He's a great person to have around. Please feel free to take him when you go out. It would be great if you could take some pictures of him while he's visiting you and send the pictures to me, please. I would love to share his adventures with my class. Please send him back along with a brief letter of his adventures, and please return by June 9th. So I waited 2 weeks to get my letter back and my Flat Stanley and all the pictures, and this is what was sent back. Okay, so this is the first picture. That's my grandpa. And he said, "Dear Madeline, Grandma and I took Flat Stanley with us last weekend for a day of fun. Here's where we went. Number 1 is Wednesday prayer service, which was Grandpa teaching. And number 2 is waiting on the front porch for Grandma to get ready. Number 3 is looking at the beehives that the neighbor owns. Number 4 is going to the orange crops, because if you didn't know, Frostproof is basically just a town where they grow oranges, and there's like 2 stoplights, there's like nothing there. And number 5 is sightseeing in Lake Wales and looking at the mural of the Bach Singing Tower, which is like a really big tourist place that people go to. Number 6 is Grandma and Flat Stanley beginning their shopping, and they had to like travel 40 minutes to go to a mall for this project. And number 7 is Grandpa and Flat Stanley looking at shirts. And number 8 is Grandma and Flat Stanley shopping. Number 9 is no shopping trip is complete without a stop at Walmart, and they had to travel another like hour to get to a Walmart for this. And then number 10 is home at last where Grandpa and Flat Stanley can rest. And he said, "This concludes our time with Flat Stanley. He's a good kid. Love, Grandpa Grouper." So the reason why this is my personal object is because my grandpa passed away in April of 2016. He had congestive heart failure, and according to the American Heart Association, congestive heart failure is when fluid collects around the heart. And according to WebMD, as a result, the kidneys may respond by causing the body to retain water and salt. If fluid builds up in the arms, legs, ankles, feet, limbs, or other organs, the body becomes congested, which is what happened to him. And one of the first things I did when I found out that he passed away was go back and look at my Flat Stanley, because it is one of the only things that I have left of him. And in conclusion, when I look back at this project that I did 11 years ago, I'm really glad and